Today, we're talking about something that is hidden and not always talked about. Have you ever struggled to express your needs, worried that they wouldn't be well received, or felt empty, caught in a people pleasing kind of loop? Maybe you've questioned if your feelings even matter. If any of this resonates, you're not alone. Today, we're diving into how to recognize and overcome emotional neglect so you can reclaim your confidence and set healthy boundaries. Hi, I'm Randy Taryn. In this video, we'll explore what emotional neglect is, its causes, how to identify it, and practical steps to overcome it. Let's jump in. Emotional neglect is often the root of self-doubt, distrust in your intuition, and worrying about others' opinions more than your own feelings. Signs include feeling not enough, compromising too much, or being told that you are either too sensitive or too much as a child. And that could be happening even in your relationships today. So some examples: if you hesitate to share an opinion in a group because you're afraid it won't be valued. If in a relationship, if you avoid discussing your needs so that you prevent conflict, it might feel safer to disconnect from your emotions and become ultra independent to avoid needing people and that chance of being rejected. Do any of these resonate with you? Let's talk about the causes. So emotional neglect can occur when parents or caregivers don't have it in them to be emotionally present. It can be unintentional, often is, from their own issues like stress, overwhelm, depression, or mental or physical illness. Like if a parent was too preoccupied with work or their own problems to provide emotional support. In adult relationships, a partner might be emotionally unavailable because of their own past issues, but maybe you or perhaps a friend of yours chose a certain partner because it correlated because of not having needs met as a child. So that becomes familiar. Sometimes parents or partners appear to provide the best life, all the perks and the toys and the gadgets and good schools and all that kind of stuff, but they are not there when the child needs to be held or to be nurtured. They're just not emotionally available. So let's talk about some clues that this might be something that you're dealing with. If you feel unseen or unheard, if your needs seem like a burden, if you're on the edge of burnout, always trying to please other people, that's a clue. And in a relationship, you might feel like your needs are less important and you're constantly prioritizing your partner's or your family's feelings. If you took a caregiving role as a child, such as looking after younger siblings or being a confidant to a parent, you may have experienced what's called parentification, and that is ignoring your own needs because you feel the need to step in to keep the family somewhat functional. I can relate to that one. As an adult, you might feel the need to care for your partner or friends at the extent of your well-being. You might be the one that's ignoring your own needs and always helping friends move or taking on those extra tasks at work, even when you know you don't have the time and it will impinge on your peace of mind or quality of life. In a relationship, it might feel unequal. You might carry most of the burden. And that might look like doing all the emotional heavy lifting, always being the one to plan, support, take care of things, or choosing unsupportive partners. Those that say you're too needy or you are too much. So for instance, if your partner dismisses your emotional needs, it ends up making you feel like you are a burden. And that's not the way it should be. Also, avoiding conflict, worrying about triggering other people's emotions and handling things on your own. And you might avoid asking for help even when you really, really need it, and thinking it's better not to bother anyone. And that's the double-edged sword of being independent. On one hand, it makes you feel empowered, but on the other hand, if you're not able to reach out for help when you need it or want it, that can feel not so good. Neglecting self-care, not knowing your needs or what's important to you. You might skip meals, lose sleep, avoid seeing friends or going places because you just don't feel like that would be the best thing. Also, lacking in self-trust, not trusting yourself or your decisions. You might second guess yourself. You might wonder if, did I make the right choice? What if it had been that way? And overthinking and all that. And that could lead to feeling empty or stuck. And then, of course, boundaries, finding it challenging to say no. We're going to talk about that a little bit later. And agreeing to things you don't want to just to keep the peace. So let's switch gears and go into how to get through emotional neglect. The first thing is notice your feelings. Tune into your body and your emotions. For example, pay attention to the physical sensations. How do you feel? Does it make you tense up or feel more expanded? That's a real clue. But often people dealing with emotional neglect might not even have the vocabulary of their emotions. They might not feel connected to them. So one great tool is an emotions wheel. And you can just Google that. You can find it anywhere on Google even, or you can order one. And that gives you that emotional literacy, so you can tune in a little better to, hey, what am I exactly feeling? In relationships, notice if you feel uncomfortable or resentful if you suppress your needs. Another thing is respecting your intuition. Listen to your gut sense. You may want to get other people's opinions after that, but then come back to what your inner compass was telling you and just weigh things against that. In relationships, trust your own intuition. If someone is trying to rationalize away what you're feeling, trust yourself. Then build the capacity to enjoy your life. If you have experienced emotional neglect, sometimes that is not easy. So practice doing things that you enjoy and take in the good. Manage your impulses, use your breath, use movement, go into nature to reconnect with what is important to you and how you want to show up for life rather than be triggered. Self-talk is helpful to develop a positive inner dialogue. And when that inner critic comes around, just tell it where to go and have some phrases at the ready, like, you got this, we can do hard things, say no. Practice setting boundaries with simple statements like, no, I'm not available, or no, that just doesn't feel right. And this allows you to take care of your needs and have agency in your own life. And it may be hard at first, but it will get easier. Emotional neglect can deeply impact your life, but recognizing it and taking the steps to reconnect with your emotions, trust your intuition, and set boundaries will absolutely transform how you walk through life. And this is not always talked about because it has to do with what was missing. So it's not necessarily obvious, but taking these steps can be a life changer. So if you found this video helpful, please like, comment, or subscribe, and tune in for more content on helping you make your life something that you are excited about. Also, share thoughts and even questions in the comments below. As always, thank you so much for joining me today. Remember, reclaiming your emotions and confidence is 100% possible with awareness and the right tools. So take care, sending you much love, and see you next time.